So, hel- hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the communication interfaces in embedded system. Communication interfaces in embedded system. How many types of communications? How to interface with the communication devices. So the embedded systems, the communication interfaces can be broadly classified into two types: onboard communication interface, uh, and the next one is external integrated circuit ISQ. Next one is external peripheral communication interface. So first one is onboard communication interface. These are the used for the internal communication of the embedded system. So internal devices communication we are using onboard communication. So device between devices to devices on inbuilt devices only, not external devices, only inbuilt devices communication between the different components present in a system is called onboard communication interface. The common examples for the onboard communication interface is we are using. First one is I2C means inter integrated circuit. So second type is serial peripheral interface SPI model. The third one is universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter UART model. The fourth one is a one wire interface. Next one is parallel interface. So coming to the first one, inter integrated circuit or I2C bus. So it is an asynchronous communication device, but it's a bidirectional half duplex two-wire serially interface buses developed by Philips Semiconductors in 1980. This technology is developed in 1980 with a half duplex, not a full duplex. It is a half duplex communication device. So coming to the this one figure of I2C bus, we have to see. So I2C means there is a master and a slave. There is a master and slave. We have to see I2C master and slave. Master is a microcontroller and the slaves are the devices. So communication between, so microcontroller to the internal devices communication, which is we are using which is using two major commands, that is SDA and SCL. The SDA indicates serial data access and the SCL indicates serial clock. Serial clock. So generating the subsystems of the clock pulses and SDA it be responsible for transmitting the serial data access devices. I2 bus is a shared bus system to which members of I2C devices can be connected. So devices to be connected. So now we have to see master and a square slave with I2C bus. You have to see in the diagram. So master is a microcontroller, slaves are, for example, serial electrical programmable element, another one. So now SCL is connected to the SCL bus connection and SDA is connected to SDA, and similarly master also connected to the these two buses according to the working principles, according to the commands given by the master, which commands can operate in the slaves. So this is I2C bus model. So I2C bus model you have to see in the inter-integrated circuit is an synchronous bidirectional half duplex, see one day, and two-wire serial interface bus. This concept of I2C bus was developed by Philips Semiconductors in the early of 1980. The original initiation of I2C bus was to provide an easy way of connection between microprocessor or a controller system with the peripheral chips in the television sets. Majorly, firstly it will be implementing in the master and slave with the controller to the television sets, other devices. So I2C bus compares the two bus lines, namely serial clock is SCL and the serial data SDA. This is represented for the generating the synchronization of the clock pulse, and the SDA is responsible for transmitting the serial data access devices. So I2C bus is a shared bus system to which many number of I2C devices can be connected. This device connection of the I2C bus can be act as either a master device or a slave device. So master means master device is control the slave devices. Example for the master and slave devices is the system, system and the mobile. So mobile, you have to connecting the system. The mobile system is operating the mobile, but not mobile operating the system. You are connecting the both mobile and the system. So master is an system. So system operating the mobile applications or mobile storage data storage applications with the use of USB connection, but not mobile. Clear? These are the example for the master and slave. The master device pulse the clock line SCL of two buses to high. So the master device pulse data SDA is low. So clock is high, automatically data will be low. With the SCL line is logic high, this is the starting condition for the data transfer. The clock is high. The master device sends the address of to the slave device. It wants to communicate over the SDA line. The clock pulses are generated in the SCL line for the synchronizing the bit representation by the slave devices. So most significant bit of the data is always transmitted first. So coming to the transmission is done by through MSB to LSB position. Most significant bit to the least significant bit. The slave devices which the address required by the master device responded by the scanning the acknowledgement bit, that is SDA, is equals to bit value is equals to 1. SDA is high, then the transmitting is done. So this is the process of I2C bus communication between master to the slave. So coming to the next one, and the onboard communication interface. So next one is the serial peripheral interface, SPI. So serial peripheral interface is a synchronous bit bidirectional full duplex 4-way series interface bus. So full duplex communication through master and slave simultaneously through is a full duplex communication. And the SPI is a single master multiple slave system. So single master and multiple slaves you have to connect. It is possible to have the system as a more than one SPI devices can be master provided in the condition only the master device is active at the any given point of time. At any given point of time, it is satisfied. SPI requiring the 4 signal lines for the communications, that are the master out, slave in, or master in, slave out, serial clock, and the slave select. These are the 4 signals to communicate the devices with the controller. So master out, slave in. So master out, slave in indicates signal line carrying the data from master to slave devices. The signal is transmitting from master to slave devices. It is also known as slave input, slave data in, slave input. So next one, master in, slave out. Master in, slave out is called signal line carrying the data from slave to the master device. So slave out, the master is in. So next one is the serial clock. So signal line carrying the clock signals. Serial clock requires any clock pulses to transmitting the data. The next one more using the slave select. Slave select means we are connecting more number of slaves to the master circuit. Which slave is now the data is transmitting or receiving, which slave is in active mode. Now we have to using the slave select to which slave is in active mode. This is using for the selection of the slave. So coming to the next one, universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter, UART. So universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter based on universal based on the data transmission in the asynchronous form of serial data transmission. The UART is based on serial data transmission, does not require a clock signal to synchronize the transmitting and the receiving end of the transmission. So no clock pulse is required for the synchronization. Instead of the serial communication settings, the baud rate, number of bits per second, and the parity, number of starting bits and stop bits of the control for both the transmitting and receiving should be set as identical. So all these are the identical. How many stop bits are there, how many starting bits are there, how the parity of even parity and odd parity, how to transferring, all these are fixed one. The starting bit informs the receives the data bytes about into the array. The receiving device starts the polling its receiving the line. If the transmitting of data from transmitter to the receiver, the transmitting is done, you have to sending the data, number of bits transmitting the transmitter is equal to the number of bits receiving in the receiver, so automatically the 100% of data will be transmitting, no synchronization is required. So this is about the UART. So next one wire interface in the onboard communication interface using, next one is one wire interface. The one wire interface is an asynchronous half duplex communication protocol developed by the Maxim Dals Semiconductor. It is also known as Dals one wire at the rate 1 protocol. So it is developed by using the half duplex. Again, half duplex means once transmitting is completed, then after it will receive an or other transmission, means only it transmitting the data, then after it will receive the data, not doing transmitting and receiving simultaneously. It makes use of the control the single line called DQ for the communication and following the master and slave communication model. Master and slave communication model. One wire interface means, or the half duplex means, once transmitting master is sending the any one signal, it reaches the slave, then the slave is responding to transmitting. So this is the process of half duplex. So next one is the parallel interface. So the onboard parallel interface is normally used for communicating which peripheral devices which are the memory mapped to the host of the system. Memory mapped to the host of the system. The host processor controller of embedded system contains parallel bus, and the devices which supports parallel bus to directly connected to the system. So parallel data transfer, that transferring the data at a time. Means the data lines are connected to the controller to the devices, automatically the parallel data will be transferred. So this is the internal onboard communication interfaces are I2C bus, special serial peripheral interface, universal synchronous and asynchronous, one wire interface, and parallel interface. These are the techniques are using in the embedded systems onboard communications. Thank you.